What is going on, everyone? RexBebop back again, and today I'm going to be discussing my top games that I am most excited for the year of 2022, and happy 2022 to all. I am taking my boy Fear No Hate's idea of this. He already did his list of games that he's most excited for, and I highly recommend you check that out before you go and listen to my shit. So yeah, hopefully y'all go over there and go his way and like look at all the content that he has, as well as the video that I'm mentioning. But we're gonna get on with my list, and yeah, bro, I am taking your idea. So thanks for the idea, by the way. Anyway, in no particular order, let's just start the list with Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Now, since this is a remake of Destroy All Humans 2, and the remake of Destroy All Humans 1 didn't really change anything story-wise, I think it's safe to assume that Reprobed will follow the same story as the original 2 that came out. So, synopsis of 2. 10 years have passed since Crypto defeated the Majestic and took over the American government. Orphopox 13 has died after a Soviet nuclear missile destroyed the Furon mothership. Pox has downloaded his consciousness into a personal holographic projector that's designed to communicate between Furons on motherships and the planet's surfaces. Basically the Holopox from the first game. He basically calls himself Holopox, which allows him to communicate with and advise and pretty much shit on Crypto while on Earth. When the KGB basically destroys the mothership and Pox, Crypto must find a way to stop them from destroying what he's worked so hard to achieve from the first game. So yeah, basically a giant continuation from the first game. If you didn't play that, Crypto basically takes over the fucking world, and we'll go from location to location, pretty much doing the same exact thing, except like with more weapons and more craziness, especially since this is the whole make war not love tagline. Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I'm really excited to be playing this again on current hardware. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, very, very excited for what Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed is going to be. And I really did like what Destroy All Humans 1 remake brought to the table in terms of like newness. Except the control scheme. The control scheme got a little bit iffy from what I just remember off the top of my head anyway. Alright, the next game would be SIFU. SIFU being a beat-em-up action-adventure game designed and developed by a French studio called Slow Clap, who I recently found this out while looking up the story for this, have already made a game called Absolver. Basically, SIFU centers around a kung fu student who sets out to fulfill a lifelong goal of revenge, to hunt down and destroy 5 assassins who brutally murdered his family. The game is set in a modern Chinese city and is grounded within reality, although magic exists in the world, as the protagonist possesses a magical talisman. I'm getting Jackie Chan Adventures flashbacks as I look this up, that revives him whenever he suffers a fatal injury in combat, with the downside being as he ages a specific number of years, which in each resurrection will eventually have him die once the talisman's magic is used up. Yeah, I am very, very excited for what this brings to the table. Like, from what I've seen, even from the initial first trailer that I saw, I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be on my radar from here on out. I instantly had Jet Li Rise to Honor flashbacks as I looked at this from the first time. Like, it looks like almost a spiritual successor just without the guns. If anyone remembers Rise to Honor, good on you. You good on you. Seriously, underrated game that was. Should have been a damn movie. But yeah, really excited for what SIFU brings to the table, and just, yeah, it does have soul, kind of Souls physics, when it's just like you die and you come back to life, and it's just like you go on and on until your lives is pretty much used up. I know. This is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, just from what I've listed off here. But, I'm excited for what this looks like, and just the aesthetic, the art style, and just from what I've seen. I am very, very excited for see what SIFU is and what it's going to bring to the table come next month, because it releases in February. So yeah, there you go. Next is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Developed by the action-adventure game-making juggernauts Rocksteady Studios, Suicide Squad is set in an open-world-based metropolis. The game features 4 playable characters: Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and King Shark. While it can be played solo, the game also features 4-player cooperative multiplayer mode. But when played solo, the player can switch between characters at will, while the other characters are controlled by AI. Yeah, you didn't find that out, did you, Fear? Ha! Got one up on you, this one, bud. The game is set in the universe previously established by the Batman Arkham series. It takes place sometime after the events of Batman Arkham Knight. Amanda Waller creates a task force known as the Suicide Squad, which is comprised of Arkham Asylum inmates, as I've listed off, for a covert mission in Metropolis. Only when they arrive in the city to do so, they realize the severity of the situation. Brainiac has invaded the Earth and has started brainwashing its inhabitants, including the Justice League members, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman as the only apparent member who is not under Brainiac's control. Unable to depend on any hero for help, it's up to the Suicide Squad to save the world by assassinating the Justice League and stopping Brainiac. Just what Rocksteady has done with the Arkham series alone, that's enough for me. So when I heard that they were doing this, my faith in them is already set. I have high hopes for this thing, especially since this looks like Sunset Overdrive on crack, to be honest with you. And I fucking love the Suicide Squad just as a concept alone. And whatever Rocksteady is going to do with this, I just have hope for it altogether. So yeah, very, very excited for Kill the Justice League for whatever this is gonna be. Yeah, not much more to say. Faith in Rocksteady, faith in what this looks like, and just, yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, and King Shark is voiced by freaking Samoa Joe of all people, which is, if you're a wrestling nerd like I am, that's fucking great. Like, I could not think of a more better voice for King Shark than Samoa friggin' Joe. All right, so yeah, there you go. Oh, Wendy! Anyway, next game, Horizon 2 Forbidden West. It continues the story of Aloy, a young huntress from the Nora tribe sent on a quest to the arcane frontier known as the Forbidden West to find the source of a mysterious plague that kills all it infects. On her journey across these uncharted lands, Aloy encounters hostile regions ravaged by massive storms and occupied by dangerous enemies and deadly machines. She also discovers a vast array of environments and ecosystems, including lush valleys, dry deserts, snowy mountains, tropical beaches, and ruined cities, both above and below the water. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a no-brainer for me. And what we've been shown so far, this game looks like it's gonna be fucking gorgeous, just like the first one was. I really don't have to add anything here. This just looks great from what we've been shown already. So yeah, me getting the sequel is gonna be a no-brainer. So yeah, there you go. Horizon 2, let's go. All right, next game, Forspoken. Yes, the game that doesn't have anything except the open world and bad frame rate. Yeah, just shut up. Just shut up. Can we just? I'm giving this the benefit of the doubt here, especially since this is basically an isekai video game. The synopsis of this is: Frey Holland is a young woman who is transported from New York City to a fantasy world of Athena, not Athena, but Athia, and uses magical powers to journey through it and survive in order to find her way home. It's an isekai video game, and I've loved the isekai adventures as the years have gone on. It's this is pretty much a no-brainer. When I saw it, I'm like, yes, more of this, please. But yeah, and it's getting shit on because of the frame rate and shit like that. If you don't think this is going to be improved before the game comes out, come on now. I'm really giving this the benefit of the doubt, all right? I really am, and I really want this to do well. So yeah, this is definitely on my list. Can't wait to see what this actually ends up being, and for people who said this isn't going to have it doesn't really have a story, he's like, come on now, come on. Anyway, tangent aside. Next game, Gotham Knights, an action role-playing game developed by WB Games Montreal, who made Batman Arkham Origins set in an open-world Gotham City. However, Gotham Knight is completely separate from the Arkham games. The game features 4 playable characters: Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood. Each character has their own unique playstyle and abilities, while it can be played solo. The game also features 2-player cooperative multiplayer mode, wherein the second player can drop in and out at any time without affecting the other one. Players can level up their characters, but enemies will automatically be leveled up as well. They can also use the Bat Cycle to explore the city. During the day, players will occupy the Belfry, which is Bell Tower. When I was looking this up, I'm like, that's what it's really called? Anyway. Which acts as the team's base of operations. It allows players to switch characters and prepare for the next mission by managing progression. Upon leaving the Belfry, the game will fast forward into the night. Batman's former protégés will attempt to continue his legacy by protecting Gotham upon receiving a pre-recorded message from Batman, who is dead in this story, as well as Commissioner Gordon. During the game, the heroes will encounter several supervillains, including the Court of Owls, Mr. Freeze, and Penguin. Supporting characters will include Bruce's former butler Alfred Painsworth and police captain Renee Montoya, one of the few cops left in the city. Just as a concept, it's almost like the Suicide Squad killed Justice League in a way, in terms of like concept. They're like, okay, we're giving people aside from Batman the spotlight, and it's his proteges in this. It just looks interesting to me. This just looks interesting to me. I really shouldn't have to say anything else. And the drop-in, drop-out system sounds nice. I'm just really curious of what WB Games Montreal is going to do with this. So yeah, initially I was like, huh? And then I've grown to like, it's kind of grown on me as time has gone on. I was like, okay, I can get behind this, especially like fucking Nightwing and Red Hood. Like, come on now. And this also explains why Batgirl isn't in a fucking wheelchair, considering it's like, hey, what the hell happened? So yeah, Suicide Squad does follow the Arkham series after the fact. Gotham Knights does not. So there you go. And just to clear that up. Next game, Starfield. Role-playing game set amongst the stars by Bethesda. Create any character you want and explore the unparalleled freedom as you embark on an epic journey to answer humanity's greatest mystery. I am very glad that we're finally getting away from Fallout for a while. As much as I like Fallout, it's kind of gone stale now. Consider we're not ever going to see a daggone remake or remaster for New Vegas. It's like, okay. And I love like sci-fi and outer space stories anyway. So I'm really curious to see what Bethesda is going to do with this. And Xbox finally has a game in their camp now. So people can stop saying Xbox has no games. They had Psychonauts too. Shut up. Anyway. Okay, little tangent, but staying on track here. I am really curious to see what Starfield is going to be when it's all said and done. I know we have really a trailer to go off of, but as we get closer to release, they're gonna do their like explosion of information type shit. I remember like the hype around Fallout 4 and just how they handled that. It's gonna probably be the exact same thing. It's like once we get closer, it's just like, oh, look at all that shit. We're not gonna be able to escape it. So I can definitely see them pulling that. So yeah, more information would be nice, but just the concept of it alone, space adventure, choose your character. Hopefully, it's a lot more custom creation options and shit like that. But yeah, it sounds nice. Sounds really cool. Next game, Ghostwire Tokyo from Tango Gameworks, the guys who made Evil Within, very underrated by the way. The population of Tokyo has vanished. It's up to Akito to fight the occultist forces that have caused this demise. From a first-person perspective, you control Akito in combat and eradicate the supernatural enemies crawling within the streets of Tokyo. Just from what I've seen before, when this was announced, I'm like, oh shit, yes, please, more of this. And it's by Tango Gameworks. Fuck yes, dude. I shouldn't have to go into detail about this. This looks neat. This looks really, really good to me. It's Evil Within, guys. I can't really, like, put into any... I can't put it... I'm not underselling this. It just sounds great. Ghostwire to me just sounds fucking great to me. It's just like... I'm excited to see what this is really going to be once it's finally released. So yeah, there you go. Ghostwire Tokyo. Yeah, boom. There you go. Alright, next game. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Serving as a continuation of Breath of the Wild, the Calamity is back to cause more havoc for Hyrule, and Zelda and Link will have to embark on another adventure to contain it. This time, Hyrule and its massive pastures and mountains will not be enough to contain this adventure, as it expands to the fucking skies. I don't need to explain myself for this one. I loved Breath of the Wild. I love what it brought, and as it really started as my first Zelda title, I was left with like, oh my god, this was fucking amazing. So yeah, me getting Breath of the Wild 2 is never a no-brainer one. Yeah, I don't really talk about it as much as I would like to, but yeah, I absolutely love Breath of the Wild. So yeah, really excited for whenever this comes out. And lastly, I'm probably gonna get an honorary mention afterwards, but WWE 2K22. Alright, now to sum this up and my little history with 2K, because all that's deleted now, I've had beef with 2K having the WWE gaming license since 2K15, and it's funny because like I think back at 2K15 and I'm like, okay, that's when I kind of was like, okay, I kind of have hope for what they're doing with my career and everything. That's where all like the new stuff started, with the showcase and my career shit and all that. And it's funny thinking back all those years. So yeah, it's always been something wrong with 2K having the license, but after the abysmal entry that was 2K20, 2K22 really looks like a step in the right direction, and I'll give it to Visual Concepts. This looks like they're putting their best foot forward with this entry from what we've seen with the hit list and everything else so far. The only problem is how many people are going to be in this roster, considering everyone keeps getting fucking released. That is my issue right now. That's my biggest issue. Everything else that I've saw in the hit list trailer, I'm like, okay, you sold me, but I am probably going to wait a week before I give them my money, because I've already been tricked several fucking times in my life by this company, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Nope. I will gladly wait to see what will happen with the results. So, anyway, I am excited for 2K22. However, I am going to curb my expectations and curb my enthusiasm when this actually does release. Honorable mention, I would have to give it to King of Fighter 15. Now, King of Fighter 14 is what brought me into the series, and after doing an extensive history lesson, like with like analysis videos and shit like that, I am very, very hyped for what King of Fighters 15 will bring to the table, and with this roster that we've seen with this so far, I'm like, yeah, all right, okay, yeah, yeah. There's my fighting game in the list. So yeah, King of Fighters 15, very, very excited for what this is. So that's my list, and one honorable mention. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys listened all the way through. If you did, leave a like, leave your comments, leave your games of what you're excited for. Finally get to talk about games again. I'm gonna try to be more consistent, but don't hold me to it. It's just like, if you don't have the motivation, you just don't you don't have the motivation for it, you just don't have the motivation for it. But I do want it, after Fear No Hate's video on this, I kind of did want to throw my hat in there. So yeah, there you go. Y'all be safe out there. RexBebop signing out. Peace, sees you when it sees you. 2022 looks extremely promising gaming wise, just like last year. Last year was insane. This year just looks like oh, holy shit, we have all this coming out this year. So anyway, that's it from me. Take care.